Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I've got so many different pieces of information that I'm going to try my best to kind of go through this relatively quick so that I can fit it all in. But first I want to show you this from James Rule. He is right. The winning trifecta is available on Link2, Ripple Private Equity, Link2 Private Equity, and Uphold Private Equity. The holdings of those for me in order: number one, I own a lot of Link2. And then in second place, Uphold. Third place, Ripple. Mainly the reasoning there is because I could get these two it was more inexpensive at the time that I bought them than Ripple. That's all. But I'll put a link to this in the top of the description of this video if you want to go open an account, check them out. They are for accredited investors. Now, this is hilarious because the Gary Gensler and the SEC are patting themselves on the back and wishing themselves a happy birthday. The SEC was formed 88 years ago. What's hilarious about it is two things. First, scroll down the comment section of both of these things, and it's nothing but people just bashing them, deservedly so. But this is my favorite. Watch, let me hit the refresh so you get this right. This is the SEC celebrating their 88th year of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934, and this one. I love that. And then John Deaton's law firm came in and hit him with the hind. Actually, that is a Howard Stern phrase. If you listen to Howard Stern, hit him with the hind. Well, they did hit him with the hind here. Another birthday is coming up next week. SEC, save the date, June 14th, 2022. Crypto Law livecast on the 4th anniversary of the Hinman speech on digital assets. John Deaton will host a discussion on its legal and policy legacy with key experts. More details soon. That is hilarious. Now, check this out. Ripple tweeted this. On-demand liquidity is coming to Lithuania. The partnership will enable frictionless cross-border payments at a fraction of the cost, a faster rate than traditional payment rails. Leonidas comes in playing this clip from the other day.
Bank of Lithuania, LB coin. So this is the world's first central bank digital collectible coin. And the reason why I think this is important, because obviously Lithuania is part of the Eurozone. So Lithuania can't do a digital euro.
All right. Did you already said Lithuania is part of the Eurozone, so they can't do their own central bank digital currency. But do you know who can? The Digital Euro Association. These guys could get together with some people and create a digital euro. They just happened back in February of 2022 to tweet out, how does the XRP ledger of Ripple's real-time gross settlement system, currency exchange, and remittance network actually work? In this 10-piece video series, you will learn more about the key concepts of the XRP ledger. And then, of course, you've got the Digital Pound Foundation, who had the financial inclusion seminar with Ripple. And then you've got here today, or in the last couple of days, Digital Pound Foundation also phased introduction of Indian CBDC to start this financial year. That would be the digital rupee, right? Okay, and here's John Deaton. Now, remember, John Deaton is going to be at 7 p.m. on June 7th, not January, June 7th, which when you hear this will be today, right? June 7th, he's going to do an Ask Me Anything, because remember, you'll hear this tomorrow, and that's the day that they're going to have the court's going to have the conference call, okay? So tune into John Deaton. That should be interesting. Now, same day, we should be getting a drop of Senator Cynthia Lummis's bill on her digital asset framework. The digital asset investor is very suspicious about where she's going to land on this thing. We're going to find out soon. What we don't want is if her great idea with all of her Bitcoin maxi friends is to give Bitcoin a commodity designation, and everything else, all other digital assets, are going to be securities in her framework. Thus, putting Bitcoin in a situation where it's not a level playing field and it doesn't have to compete, because she and all the other Bitcoin maxis know that it can't compete on a level playing field. That would not be good. Well, in this video, you'll see where she kind of is. Watch this. Let me hit the refresh button, and this is why I'm wary here, folks.
Don't save money in dollars, save money in Bitcoin, spend money in dollars. That's why one of the reasons I'm a big advocate for Bitcoin. I think that it is the closest asset to gold in terms of its characteristics.
I do think that Bitcoin is here to stay, and I think a lot of the others are not. The fact that Bitcoin is fully decentralized and that some of these others were issued by a person or an entity that kept a large block of the coin for themselves and then issued others to participate means they look more like a security than a commodity.
But what she's saying is, because some anonymous person or a government or dictator or terrorist group, because some anonymous group or person put Bitcoin out, that's okay. In other words, that's safe. It's all great. She does not know, or supposedly she and nobody knows who created Bitcoin. But as she sits there talking, she cannot tell you. She may know, but she can't tell you whether it's a terrorist group or not. She can't tell you. She can't tell you if it wasn't put out by 3 terrorists in a cave in Afghanistan. She doesn't know, or is not supposed to know.
Bitcoin is clearly a commodity. It is digital gold issue. So Bitcoin is the standard. Everything else has to be monitored differently because they are. Because
Michael Saylor told me so. No, wrong-o. Now, in this upside down world that we live in, Bitstamp has decided to list Shiba Inu, and I had some commentary. I tweeted out the day that they stopped their trading with XRP. You couldn't pry me away from my XRP. We're living in the twilight zone. I have a feeling this craziness will all make sense inside of a moment, folks. But then it will be too damn late. XRP XLM. All right. Now, this is from the 8th of January 2018. Of the many things that in Ethereum that need to be investigated, this is just one example. I wanted to show you this. I found so many great videos over the weekend, and I'm trying to bring them all out. Watch this.
Hello, Melissa. Talk about wild swings. Even by cryptocurrency standards, the last 24 hours has been a little bit weird for Ethereum. It opened up about 14% today compared to Friday's close. It gave it all back midday and rallied back. It's wild. It did clear $1,200 for the first time today. That's a new all-time high. Remember, Ethereum was, $10 at the start of 2017? Ethereum is now the second biggest cryptocurrency after Bitcoin by market cap, with the market cap approaching half, almost, of Bitcoin's 255.
This is one thing a lot of people don't remember. XRP was kicking butt and taking names back during this time. It was above Ethereum. When all of the, in my opinion, coordinated things that have gone on, when all that really started, XRP was higher than Ethereum, folks. They try to sell this to you now like it's always just been Bitcoin and Ethereum. No. It was not. This was all planned, folks.
$1 billion market cap. That's amazing. Ethereum is a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, but they differ in purpose. Bitcoin's a peer-to-peer electronic payment system, but Ethereum is really more designed for smart contracts. These are contracts that automatically execute when specific conditions are met. Ethereum's rapid ascent has eclipsed Ripple now, which dropped about 25% at one point to third place today. What happened? It's not quite clear here, but Ripple has said that its price fluctuation is due to coin market.
It's still not quite clear. This is CoinMarketCap, Brandon Ches, this guy in New York, who apparently started this thing and ran it. And his ties, take a look at those. I'm sure they'll be dropped in the bottom of the comments if they haven't already been. That, I'm telling you, the real Slim Shady.
This is a site that lists cryptocurrency values that is now, they say, excluding Korean exchanges from the pricing averages, not just for Ripple, but also for other cryptocurrencies as well. This is important because South Korea routinely accounts for 10% or more of Bitcoin trading and more sometimes of other currencies like Ripple. So South Korean officials have been cracking down recently. We've been talking about this. Recently, financial authorities on Monday there said they were inspecting 6 local banks that offer virtual currency accounts to institutions. Up and down every day with this, Melissa. Back to you.
All right, and then let's go to this. Here is, this is interesting. This is from Digital Perspectives about whether Luna was a Ponzi scheme, but somehow Bitcoin isn't. Listen to what this guy says. These are all Bitcoin. There's Cynthia Loomis. These are all Bitcoin maxis on the stage.
I'm glad you brought up Luna because I was actually going to ask you that later. So the Luna collapse was one of the largest in the history of the cryptocurrency space. But of course, Bitcoin and Luna work very, very differently. So people who are using the Luna collapse to question Bitcoin itself, how would you respond to that?
Bitcoin is in a different universe. Burn it all down. Everything else. That Luna was a Ponzi scheme, and there were people outright calling it the Anchor Protocol specifically a Ponzi scheme in our industry, and a lot of folks were very outspoken against it. I don't speak about specific protocols, but I do talk about the staggering amount of leverage in the Bitcoin markets. Wall Street tried to come in and financialize in a bad way this asset class. And we have seen Ponzi schemes, we've seen scams, we've seen just outright too much leverage on an asset that's negatively convex where that leverage really can't be hedged away. You will see counterparty failures, and my attitude is burn it all down, because Bitcoin will be the phoenix that rises from the horizon, and you don't need to leverage your Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is going to be the phoenix. Is that what it's Bitcoin has had all the free press, it's had all the time in the world to be the phoenix. Bitcoin is not the phoenix. And I agree, burn it all down and uprise XRP and XLM. Okay, now this is great. There are 2 guys that we know were early investors in Ripple. Mike Novogratz was, and Dan Moorhead of Terra Capital. Both of these guys are invested in a lot of the same companies. But one of them just can't get his mind around XRP. But the other one can and is invested in XRP, at least in 2018 he was. But I thought that it was important to... Now, remember, these guys are friends. They invest in different companies. So it's not like they're on 2 separate wavelengths. So the question has to become, why would one of them just totally, not only he doesn't get XRP, but he loves to go out on media shows and tell you about how he can't figure it out. But he does, he completely understands Luna 1.0, and I guess he understands Luna 2.0 as well, because we haven't seen him go out on CNBC and warn the public about Luna 2.0. So we can only, he warned them about XRP and bragged about shorting it. He's also, by the way, the Joseph Lubin's college roommate. Here you go.
We own about 35 pre-auction ICOs, and then we also own about 25 of the liquid blockchains like XRP, Ethereum, and Bitcoin.
What do you make of the big move in XRP that we've seen recently?
I wish someone could explain it to me.
So you don't get it either?
He just doesn't get it, Now, here's another guy. Rand Nooner, remember him? This guy, he totally got Luna. He was making price predictions on Luna. He got that. He's just totally didn't understand. Now remember, this was all, I've told you, CNBC back in late 2017, early 2018. They were literally showing you how to buy XRP. And then all of a sudden, this is my theory, someone got to them. This is I need to call it, what kind of theory? I'll come up with a name for it, but it is my theory that someone at some point got CNBC to change the narrative and to act like XRP, they just don't get it and it's bad and all that. Well, This guy right here, if anybody had an operation going on, this guy
Ethereum.
either was participating or wanted to. Listen to this. And while you listen to him, remember, he totally understood Luna. And he probably understands Luna 2.0. He just can't get his mind around XRP.
HODL or FODL?
HODL for sure.
For sure.
For sure. I'm holding Ethereum. They've got the biggest community in the industry, thousands of people, the smartest people in the room. They've got use cases.
No, actually, those people are the XRP holders and the people at Ripple. Those are the smartest in the room.
They're solving their scaling issues, their scalability issues. So I'm holding Ethereum.
And Ripple, HODL or FODL?
Ripple, I'm throwing in the garbage.
In the garbage? You can't even say FODL. You're saying in the garbage. We need a new animation.
FODL.
Why in the garbage?
Because I've been researching the Ripple.
And you got to pay attention to the little things. They have Ripple XRP up here, so they know it's XRP. This is my other theory. They intentionally, this was part of the marketing program, is to keep calling it Ripple. This way you play right into the hands of down the road there being a lawsuit that says Ripple and XRP are the same thing. It's one in the same. This was intentional. I'm telling you, I can see around corners. It's been 4 years and I watched these people and I didn't understand it back then. I do get it now. It is so nefarious and so bad. These people ought to be investigated, all of them. Now, I wanted to point this out because I called it earlier in the week. Lastly, this is Ron Hammond. Lastly, there will be a record number of policymakers and staff coming to consensus. It is encouraging to see the number of members of Congress, regulators, staffers heading down to this event to speak from learn from the industry. Great work, CoinDesk and Coin Center. These are both proof of work, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Maxi organizations. Loomis is going to be there. Bet you dimes to donuts that's where she offers up her paper, okay, or her bill, whatever. All right, and then there's this. I'm trying to make sure I squeeze all this in. Found this video today. Wanted to. This is my new nickname for Vitalik Buterin is the Ripple Couch Surfer, because many of you may or may not know. He went to Ripple to try to get a job before he just had this brainchild of Ethereum, smart contracts. Remember, Ripple was working on Codius long time ago. Back then, you have to wonder if he was there to pick Stefan. What's Stefan's last name? I'm so used to saying Stefan Huber. It's not that. I'll think of Stefan's name in a minute. But anyway, the guy that worked at Ripple. Anyway, so this guy slept on his couch, and these guys with Ethereum, Joseph Lubin and him and all these guys, they try to act like Ripple's no competition for them and all. But if you look at their tweets around all the bad things that happened to Ripple or lawsuits or the SEC lawsuit, these people, they can't get Ripple and XRP out of their mouths. And he can't do it here either, even on a rumor.
And I definitely appreciate the work Coinbase was doing. I very much appreciate the work in the case that the rumor was true of Coinbase refusing the, I believe, offer from Ripple to pay $1 million to get listed on Coinbase.
The arrogance of this guy, if you were there when we were all there, it was years, months and years, when Coinbase just wouldn't list XRP. And this guy gets listed without doing anything because of the operation that has been underway, Ethereum free pass, all of it, okay? So he just gets put on there like, oh, okay, yeah, no problem. And XRP has to beg and kick and scream or whatever to get put on Coinbase. And don't give me Ethereum is somehow decentralized and XRP is not. That's a bunch of bull. All of this has been a bunch of bull, including this. Linda P. Jones, the bankers have always hated the idea of decentralization and have done everything to control the ledger, including trying to patent their own in 2017. This resulted in ETHgate. She is 1,000% right. I summarized it right here, and then you'll hear Tim Draper, and I'll finish. Tim Draper knows the Ethereum. I'm not saying he knows about what all these bankers were up to, but I am saying this is it. The Ethereum free pass had a purpose. yell decentralized from the rooftops, create your own reality. That's what Joseph Lubin said. Yell decentralized from the rooftops. It was nothing but propaganda, folks. I have studied it. I've lived and breathed this for a year now. It was a Trojan horse. Think about what's happened. You now have Ethereum. Joseph Lubin is over here. He's issuing tokens at will. He's got DeFi. Nobody else is being allowed to do it. Gary Gensler's doing nothing, do anything in Ethereum related. Coinbase tries to lend, they shut them down. But Ethereum is bragging on videos to this day, staking and all this stuff. They're allowed to do it. It's because it's a money machine. It's the same thing that the Federal Reserve was 100 years ago. It's a money printing machine. And what they did is they got this. You had the disguised whales first in the ICO. To this day, nobody knows who they are. Well, I think we probably do know who they are. But there's a reason they had to be disguised, because if that ownership is disguised and hidden, then they can control this thing and then call it, and they send Hinman out, calls it decentralized, and now it is. But they have a monopoly. That's what this was about. We have pegged this from day one, a way for the JP Morgans of the world to maintain control and let the people think that they are. That's what this was. Tim Draper says it.
Hey, well, they're desperate now.
That is
because they're starting to see real problems. I mean, the bank, think about our bankers. The bankers, JP Morgan is seeing 1, 2, 5% of some of these accounts going into crypto. That's leaving his control. Same thing's happening in the U.S. government. They're starting to feel that loss of control. And these are a bunch of, the people who are deciding what all these laws are, they're like the grandfathers of all the people who are doing all of this cool stuff. And so it's like this huge double 2-generation gap between the guys trying to make these rules and the guys who are down here creating this new economy. And that new economy started for a reason.
I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that it is disguised centralization. You yell decentralization from the rooftops to disguise the centralization. That is what has been done here. I know it. You know it. Anybody who's paying attention knows it. Anybody that if there's anybody else left that wants to be honest and if the truth matters.